Friday, 1st November 2024. Mental health is real. Seek help. End the stigma. On the news this evening, political parties react to court order stopping Rivers State allocation. INEC chairman cites conflicting court rulings as reason for silence on Rivers Assembly controversy. Atiku Obi criticized arraignment of minors charged for participating in End Bad Governance protest. On the foreign scene, death toll in Spain flooding rises. I am Constance Irele Mega. The news continues after this break. Stay tuned. Leaders of some political parties in Rivers State have reacted to the court order which stopped federal allocations to the state government. In an interview with correspondent Soibio Ruwari, the Rivers State chairperson of Labour Party, Hilda Dokobo, accused the judiciary of working with politicians to derail democracy in the country.
We are not one of those states, so we contribute to the revenue of this country. In fact, we feed nearly the rest of the country. It is the money that comes from Rivers State and the other states of the Niger Delta that feeds and keeps Nigeria. And then it is that kind of state you say you will not give that. You are stopping the CBN. If you deprive the state, you are undermining the power of the people of Rivers State in the name of what? That you are a judge.
Well, the Rivers Labour Party chairperson says the state will survive any economic sabotage despite the court stopping federal allocation to the states.
Rivers State will survive. Rivers State is bigger than any of those kinds of weird dreams that anybody might be having. First of all, it's sad that it is the judiciary that is being engaged to destabilize everything in this country. And perhaps until they totally destroy the country, a lot of them in the judicial space may not have. Otherwise, their children will have a real tough time. And these people are just going to not leave any legacy, unfortunately.
The Rivers State chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Ajeteka Hari, also spoke.
That they should renew their strength from the good governance put in place by His Excellency Simfowara and not faint in our total resolve to support the governor in liberating the state. For the shenanigans you are seeing today is simply a noise-making of a drowning man who doesn't mind holding onto a leaf for survival. So don't be disturbed by these sheep antics from elements that doesn't mean well for our state. Soonest, the Egyptians you see today, you shall see them no more.
Meanwhile, a lawyer, Vincent Chukwu, said the court's decision is not a judgment, but an interlocutory injunction, which means it is not final.
It cannot be judgment now because when did they even institute the matter now? When was the matter heard and then determined? It's an interlocutory application for injunction for the interim. That lasts until they pass the judgment. Immediately they pass the judgment, the injunction abates. That is when they will know whether they will make now a perpetual injunction. Even if it originated some months, now when was it filed and then when was it heard and determined? Well, if it is originated some months, have a shorter hearing. It has a shorter hearing period than a writ of summons.
Mr. Vincent also spoke on why the judiciary is selective in dispensing cases involving the Rivers State political crisis.
It's a compromised system now. Something is wrong somewhere. That is to tell you that the system is a compromised one. On appeal, so the Federal High Court cannot entertain such matters again because they are already before the Supreme Court. So you cannot entertain it. It amounts to abuse of the judicial process. That judgment of the Court of Appeal, at least the one I know quite well, is before the Supreme Court, for which the state government appealed.
On Tuesday, the Federal High Court stopped the CBN from releasing federal financial allocation to Rivers State government. Now, the case was instituted by the Martin Amehule-led State House of Assembly. Moving on, some political stakeholders in Degema local government area, Rivers State, have criticized Nye Hari, the son of late Marshal Hari, for asking Governor Siminalayi Fubara to apologize to the FCT minister Nyesom Wike over the political crisis in the state. One of them, a member of the Simplified Movement, Omubo Sunday, who spoke on their behalf, said Nye Hari does not have the capacity to ask the governor to apologize. And Mr. Sunday, in an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari, described the call by Mr. Hari as a political joke taken too far.
Comment against our able governor, Governor Sim Fubara. All what he said there is not true. Nye Mashari is not the person that would direct Sim to go and apologize to the FCC minister, Nyesom Wike. Before Nye Mashari would direct our governor to apologize to Wike, let him also direct Nyesom Wike to apologize to those who made him governor. And one of them that made Nyesom Wike the governor has contributed to his emergence in 2016.
Well, Mr. Sunday also advised the current chairman of Degema to be wary of Mr. Hari. He said Governor Fubara will complete his tenure despite the distractions from those he described as enemies of the state.
That's why I'm advising the current local government chairman, Dr. Hari, to look inward to the local government. There are many of them, like Nye Mashari. If we can have anything against him, let him keep it to himself till 2027. Let us go when the river people will decide. Wike is not the owner of River State. But I want to make this clear to Wike. Sim has come to stay, and Sim will rule his 8 years. That's nothing he can do.
In another development, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says the commission's silence on the controversy trailing the Rivers Assembly is due to the several conflicting court judgments. Professor Yakubu said this while speaking at a stakeholders meeting in Abuja. Well, the INEC chairman said the crisis and the conflicting court judgments have also prevented the commission from conducting the by-election into the vacant seat of the lawmaker Dinebari Lolo, who died recently. Well, recall that the faction loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara wrote the commission to conduct a by-election to fill the position of the 25 members of the assembly loyal to the FCT minister Nyesom Wike. Now, the seats of the 25 members were declared vacant by 3 other members, and the 25 members also declared the seats of the 3 vacant. Meanwhile, Victor Oko Jumbo, the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly loyal to Governor Fubara, has assured the contractor handling the new assembly complex that resources will be provided to ensure the timely completion of the project. Well, Mr. Oko Jumbo said this when he led the other pro-Fubara lawmakers on an inspection of the project today. He said with the quality of work, the project will outlive the administration and stand out as one of the legacy projects of the government. In other news, the National President of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Abubakar Maigandi, says the union is finding it difficult to access products from the Dangote refinery. Mr. Maigandi said this in a telephone interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari while reacting to comments credited to the CEO of Dangote Refinery, Aliko Dangote, that marketers are not willing to buy from his refinery despite large stockpiles of products.
Since when Dangote started the business, we have been following him to see the way that we can start buying product to him. Up to the present date, we didn't allow us to start the purchase. So I become very surprised. don't know which marketers he was talking about. But the only thing I don't know is the reason why he don't want to sell to independent petroleum marketers. So that is just what I'm just thinking. But still we are approaching him. We have reached a situation whereby he said we should have one company that can be able to purchase the product, and we have done that, and we submitted the company name to him.
Mr. Maigandi also said IPMAN members still encounter challenges before buying the product, despite an increase in the pump price of petrol.
Today, we now know exactly who is the enemy.
Apologies for that mix-up in audio. Still to come, Atiku Obi criticized arraignment of minors charged for participating in protest. Stay tuned. Now to the rest of the news. The Rivers State Internal Revenue Service, RIRS, says it will begin full implementation of the *5224# unstructured supplementary service data USSD code used to drive tax collection from January 2025. RIRS Acting Chairman Chiboso Aholu made this known during a media briefing today. Mr. Aholu said the USSD code *5224# used to drive tax collection in the informal sector will reduce touting, harassment, diversion of tax, and increase the revenue of Rivers State.
Simply means that taxpayers can, from the comfort of their offices, from the comfort of their homes, pay their taxes using that platform. And that will reduce the harassment, the issue of people using the crude way of coming to collect taxpayers' properties and all of it, just in the name that they want to enforce the collection. As you pay, the receipt is generated, can be authenticated on the spot. So nobody will come and tell you, oh, you have not paid. It's also going to increase the revenue of the state because it means that the leakages we hit too hard will be reduced drastically.
On her part, the Rivers State Business Manager, LSSBI Advisory, technical partners to RIRS on digitalization of tax payments, Ngozi Koroye, explained how the USSD code can guide small business owners on how much they are to pay for tax. Dr. Koroye also said the *5224# is user-friendly and there are agents in the market to assist traders.
What a mini business owner is going to pay is different from what a small scale business owner is going to pay. So it's not the time that somebody can step to your office and give you a demand notice of 100,000 naira. But already your type of business is in the system, in the platform, the *5224#. You will see all the options. So when you click on table business, if you're going to pay 40,000, that is what is there. So the excess they tout usually demand from people and collect is totally wiped off. So you know how much you're paying and you're paying to the right source.
Correspondent Martha Okere reports that the tax payment is not only restricted to the USSD code, as there are also active mobile money channels, including Momo PSB mobile app, OPay business app, and OPay POS. Other channels that are in the process of being integrated include Polaris Vault app and other agency banking channels. For complaints, taxpayers can send a message to WhatsApp on 0809 488 2363. Elsewhere, the 2023 presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has criticized President Bola Tinubu over the arrest, detention, and arraignment of 76 minors who participated in the End Bad Governance protests. In a social media post, Mr. Atiku said even underage children have not been spared from what he described as wickedness of the government. Also, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, criticized President Bola Tinubu's government over the arraignment of the minors, and he called on the Minister of Justice, the police and the DSS, and also the National Human Rights Commission to thoroughly investigate the inhumane treatment of minors to avert such occurrences in the future. Meanwhile, a federal high court in Abuja has granted bail of 10 million naira each to 72 defendants, or the 72 defendants charged with participating in the nationwide End Bad Governance protests. Well, earlier, 4 of the 72, who are minors, collapsed inside the courtroom.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
The number of people who have died in the floods in Valencia, Spain, has risen to 202. It brings the total number to 205. 2 others died in the Castilla-La Mancha region and another in Andalusia. Now, there's been torrential rain in the region of Huelva, where a red rain warning was issued and people told to stay at home. And that's the news this evening. But before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this evening, you heard that leaders of some political parties have reacted to the court order stopping Rivers State allocation. And INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says the conflicting court rulings is the reason why the commission has been silent on the Rivers State Assembly controversy. Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi have criticized the arraignment of minors who were charged for participating in the End Bad Governance protest. And also on the foreign scene, the death toll in Spain flooding has risen to over 200. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Irele Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.